Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Last weekend I exhibited at a higher end craft fair than I was used to, and today I'm going to share my experience with you. I'm also going to tell you the biggest mistake I made that cost me money and sales, and I'm going to tell you the one thing you need to ask before signing up for any craft fair. But first, this video is sponsored by Volusion, the all-in-one e-commerce solution for selling online with free personalized 24-hour support from a real person. So first, let's talk about the show. It was at the Brewer Auditorium and it was a Made in Maine Expo. So people were expecting to find high quality items. They were expecting to pay a good price for them, and it was, filled with professionals. So I really wanted to make sure my booth looked clean and organized and streamlined. So about 2 weeks ago I showed you my new packaging. I'll put a link to that video if you want to check it out. But I changed all my packaging over, and I took any jewelry and things with old packaging that I wanted to bring, and I put them in grab bags. And I'll talk a little bit more about those later. So pretty much just brought my best sellers, which are my watercolor paintings that were matted in clear bags and in my print rack. I brought my watercolor cards and also my crafted greeting cards. My husband's a woodworker, so I brought his cutting boards and wooden bottle openers and wine displays, and they all did really well. So the thing to keep in mind when you're going to attend a high-end craft fair is that you want to not have a hodgepodge. You want to have a clear, defined look to your booth, and you want to really show that you are professional and that you are selling quality items. Now, a disclaimer, I do not make my living from selling items at craft fairs. It's the icing on the cake. It's what I do with all of those items that I have left over from tutorials and classes that I teach and just the fun things that I like to make. It works in line with my the rest of my business. It's in harmony with it, and it's great to get a little extra cash from your efforts. But if you are trying to make a living selling your crafts, I don't think you can do it just at local craft fairs. I think you need to have an e-commerce solution. So I suggest if you are looking for an e-commerce solution that you give Volusion a try. They have a no credit card needed free trial, and their plans start at $15 a month, which lets you list 100 items. It lets you have a Facebook store, which a lot of companies charge you big bucks for, and lots of other extras, including 24/7 live support from a real person. Plus, you can switch between plans as your needs change. So if you're listing one-of-a-kind items and you want to add more, and you go over that 100 limit, that's all right. You go up to the next plan, and you can also access all those other features, so you're not locked in. If like down the road you decide you want to scale back your product line and maybe go back to 50 or 75 products, you can go back to that original plan, which is really nice. And they have a no credit card needed free trial. So see, I'm listening to you guys. You can you don't have to enter that credit card in. You can try it out and see if it is easy enough for you to use and maintain, because that is the most important thing. If you can't maintain it, you're not going to update it, and you're not going to use it, and then it's not going to do you any good. So go give them a look if you've been looking for some place to sell your work online, but you don't want to be involved in like a multi-vendor shop, because personally, if it's me, I would want people on my turf. I wouldn't want them on Etsy's turf or, some other company's turf where they're going to see other people's products too. I'd want them on my turf where they're only going to see my stuff. If I'm doing the hard work promoting it and getting people to go there, I want to keep them there. So that's just my 2 cents. But like I said, I don't make a complete living off of the craft fair sales. It's just one part of my complete business plan. I just want to make sure you know that, because I don't want to mislead anybody. Okay, now I'm going to tell you about the biggest mistake that cost me money, and when I tell you, you're going to laugh. You're going to be like, I cannot believe you did that, Lindsay. I didn't take credit cards. Duh. So yeah. What? I mean, in this day and age, it's so easy. You can get an app for your smartphone. I could have linked it to my business PayPal account and easily have taken credit cards, but I didn't even think of it. I didn't think it would even really be, a deal breaker for people. But I mean, one woman came into my booth and she goes, "Do you take credit cards?" And I said, "No." She goes, "I'm sorry, I'm out." And she took off. And there were 2 other people, as they were ready to pay, they asked if I take credit cards. One person, didn't have the money on her, so she left, and the other person had to pick and choose between what she had in her hands to buy. So that cost me money, and I don't want that to happen to you if you do a craft fair. And the other thing that to note, even if you're doing like a small church basement or school gymnasium craft fair, like what I usually do, and I've never had an issue of not taking credit cards, is that if you do take credit cards, nobody else will, and you will be ahead of the game because people can buy more from you even when they're out of cash. So take credit cards if you're going to do that. I think it would really be worthwhile if people don't have to actually part with the green. Okay, so the other mistake I made was with the grab bags. So I thought the grab bags were going to sell great because they always have sold really good at my, church basement and school gym craft fairs. But I made a mistake. I made the grab bags and I put them on the table, and they had a tag with the price and saying what they are, but people didn't notice them. They were kind of lost. The smaller grab bags were in a basket and the larger grab bags were just kind of on the end of my table, and people didn't notice them. And it didn't occur to me till the end of the show when I was talking to one of the organizers, and she was asking how the day went, and I said, it went great, but you know what? I didn't sell a single grab bag. And she goes, grab bags? Where are they? And I showed her. She goes, you know what, Lindsay? Honestly, I didn't even see them. So I should have had a sign for the grab bags, just like I made sure to have a sign that said original watercolors. These are not prints on my print rack, so people wouldn't think they were prints, because there's greater value associated with an original piece of artwork. So I definitely need to have signage for the grab bags next time, or leave them home, because the clientele at the Made in Maine Expo were not really the grab bag clientele. They're not looking to take a chance and get a bargain. They're looking to buy high-end crafts from skilled craftspeople. So it's just more about knowing your audience and what their expectations are. Okay, so the one question that you need to ask before you sign up for a craft fair, here it is, write this down. You want to ask the coordinators before you sign up and give them your money. You want to say, is anybody else there selling blank? And blank is what you make. So I would ask, is there anybody else there selling hand-painted watercolor items? Or you might say, is anybody else there selling stained glass jewelry? Or is anybody else selling, you want to make sure that you're not entering a craft show, especially if you're spending $200 a table, where there's going to be 5 or 6 people selling the same things you are, because none of you are going to do very well. All of that business is going to be diluted between you guys. So that's what you want to make sure to note. Now, when I was walking around the show myself and talking to different people, I bought a cute little, oh, here it is. I bought this cute little pill box with this beeswax lip balm in there. It was only $5. I couldn't believe it. I even asked because I didn't believe it that was the price. And I was talking to the lady, and she said the day went pretty well, but it would have been a lot better if there weren't 6 other soap and cream people here. So, I mean, her sales were diluted because of all the other soap makers, and I'm sure theirs were as well. There were 7 or 8 jewelry makers there, and a lot of it was the very same, like natural stones and wire work, and it's just so hard to compete when you've got other people selling the same things that you do. So make sure you ask. In fact, I was very impressed by a craft fair that I was looking into selling at last fall, when I asked if there was space left, and she goes, well, maybe, what do you do? And I said, I'm a painter. She goes, what kind of painter? And I said, I'm a watercolorist. And she said, yep, we got space for you. She goes, we have a toll painter. I didn't want to have somebody else that did the same thing. So that's smart, because when a coordinator thinks of their craft fair in those terms, they're getting a really great variety of crafters, which is going to appeal to more people, bring more people in, have a strong community and a strong craft fair, and that is where everybody succeeds, because I do believe the rising tide lifts all boats. If you have any ideas for upcoming art marketing tutorials, or you have questions for me about selling at craft fairs, please leave your comments and questions in the comments below. And if you're looking for an e-commerce solution, check out Volusion.com and their risk-free trial. I want to thank you so much for watching. Please give me a thumbs up, and until next time, happy crafting.